And even if it is cold as hell, I was ready to go through it. I was just completely drenched in water, and I was working. It was really a terrible feeling for me. I started crying, and a few drops of tear just fell out of my eyes. Hi, Namaskaram, and welcome back. This is Sopnesh again, and in this video, I'm going to share a second half of my journey, which is how did I get in touch with first program of Isa Yoga Center and why did I choose to become a volunteer. So after my initiation into Sambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, I started practicing Sambhavi, and during that time I was desperately wanted to come to Bangalore and stay here. I did not know what I'm going to do, but I did wanted to come back to Bangalore and wanted to stay here. But there was one thing that I did not do back at my place, and that one work it was to be done. So that got done in August around 22 or 23. It was over. In post that, I desperately wanted to come, but I did not come. Now, when you are already settled, when you do not have to do anything, you are just sitting there, you are just doing nothing. So that is what I was doing back at my place. But in order to do something, you had to put conscious effort always, right? So if I had to come to Bangalore, then I had to think when I'm supposed to come. I had to think how much money do I need. I had to think what will I do after reaching to the Bangalore. Should I stay in a PG? Should I stay in a rent? Should I get a job, or what should I do? So I had to think all those things, and I was not thinking about anything. So that is why the starting step was not being taken. Now, post that during this particular period, I started getting so many messages about Naga Pratistha. I remember when I was going through this Yogeshwara Linga consecration videos in Sadhguru exclusive, I felt like I wish I could be a part of this and like this kind of event. So then when Naga Pratistha came in, I thought maybe this is something that I should make myself a part of it. I didn't have much money, but whatever the money I had, I paid into the program. Now, I did not left with any money through which I could ensure that I can come to Bangalore either. It was almost 6 months I was at home. I was not doing anything. So I thought, let's do one thing. I'll go to Bangalore, and I didn't book for the ticket either. So I thought I'll go to Bangalore and I'll start helping them as a volunteer. Then one day I came to Bhubaneswar. I stayed in one of my friend's place. I stayed 1 and 2 days, and after that the next morning I was supposed to come by train to Bangalore, and I didn't have ticket either. So what my plan was that if TT will catch me, I'll pay the fine. So that is what I was thinking in my head. But the moment I came to railway station, I saw the crowd inside the train. I thought, no man, I'm not going to go in this train, because it was so crowded that I didn't feel like I could go in this one. So I went back home. I made a ticket booking for consecration as well. The ticket didn't get confirmed, but somehow it was in RAC, so I could manage to come back to Bangalore. Now when I did come back to Bangalore, I made the complete journey. I reached here, and I did not know again what to do. I mean, I had no idea where to stay. I had no idea where to live. I did not know what to do. So what I thought is, if I'm reaching on 8th of October and 9th of October is the Naga consecration, then I should stay somewhere near Chikabulapur or somewhere near Yelenka, so that the transportation in the next morning could be easier for me. So I get down in Yelenka stations, but I did not know where to stay. So I was going here and there, and that day I taken on video of the surrounding, and everything just felt like the surrounding is teasing me. It felt like the surrounding, the society, everything is ignoring my presence out there. It was really a terrible feeling for me right there. I started crying, and a few drops of tear just fell out of my eyes. But somehow I came down to Kormangla, because in Kormangla there was another setup. There was another person who was staying there. I thought I could go and ask help from that person. I could come to Kormangla, but then when I reached to Kormangla, I just felt blank again, because it was a really big place and I did not know where to go. So again I come back to Marathali, because Marathali was a place where I was there already. So I knew a little bit here and there about that place. So I came back to Marathali again. Now by the time I came back to Marathali, it was evening, and my charge on my phone was started running out. My phone was about to dead, and the place that I did stay last time, I went to the same place, and they have already increased the rent, and the person who used to be there as the owner has left the PG. Now it was some other owner, and they have increased the rent, and the facilities are again these are terrible. Earlier the room which was used to be a normal drawing room, now that become a four sharing room. So and again I didn't had anything to stay in, so I had limited amount of money. I did not know what to do. But since it was very late at night and I had to stay somewhere, I thought of making a decision. I That day actually I came back to a place, a bus stand. I was sitting there. I just cried because I did not know what to do. I had no support over here. So I cried and I went back and I made the payment and I stayed there. The next morning I just wake up and I started running. So I started running towards Majestic because I knew from Majestic only I could get the bus to Devanahalli, from Devanahalli to Chikballapur, from Chikballapur to Sadhguru Sannidhi. Now then when I was traveling, I was watching the Google map because I didn't know that from where to go. So what I did is, in somewhere middle of the road actually went off from the bus because I thought okay, this is the path where I could get, I could travel faster because I don't need to go to Majestic. So I got down from the bus, but the path which I was chosen, no bus goes in that path. Again, I had no clue what to do. So I started walking, and middle of the road I found one Yulu bike. I thought, yeah, this is what I need. So I used Yulu bike from some place inside this Marathali region to reach to Bengaluru. There is another location called literally Bengaluru or something. I reached there, and from there I took one bus, and from bus I reached to Devanahalli, and again from so many different paths. The normal path could be very easy for me, but I have taken another like 1,000 different paths. Again I reached to Devanahalli, from Devanahalli to another private bus, reached to Chikballapur, and from Chikballapur I has prepared my mind. I reached around 10. So I prepared my mind that I'm going to reach to Sadhguru Sannidhi by 12:30. And how I was going to reach is, I thought I'll walk the entire distance. It was 7.5 kilometers. So I started walking. Within just walking of 100 meters, there was some guy who was going in a bike. I was actually rushing. He looked at me and he just stopped his bike. And he told me, are you going towards like Sadhguru Sannidhi? I said, yes. Then I asked him, could you drop me up? He said, yes, please sit. Then I sat beside him, on the back of his bike, and then we moved towards the Sadhguru Sannidhi. So that is how I reached Sadhguru Sannidhi. But the moment I was entering, in the starting section only, there were volunteers, a series of volunteers standing one after another, and everybody were folding their hand, and with a genuine smile, they were welcoming everyone in a huge dust. Dust is flying here and there, but the smile, the genuineness on their faces was something that made me feel like this is something that I want to do. This is the life that I want to live. It never fascinated me, any kind of money, any kind of job, any kind of business, nothing fascinated me. But the people who were smiling with their heart open was something I really liked, and I felt I want this. I just want to be this person. I just wanted to be here. So that is the first time I experienced something in terms of volunteering, and I felt like I was supposed to be here. Then post that, everything happened. I was traveling here and there. I was experiencing here and there. I was taking pictures. I filled form here and there. Everything that was supposed to be done, I just did. I bought one Rudraksh mala. This mala, I got it from there. This ring was gifted by them only at the end of the day. The consecration started around 6 p.m. in the evening, and the moment Sadhguru entered, it started raining. Now they have already informed everybody to get your chata, umbrella, or to raincoat, or to warm clothes, but I did not do any of this. I was kept myself ready to get wet in rain, and even if it is like cold as hell, I was ready to go through it. And the same thing happened. In the night, rain was used to happen like once in a while, and I was just drenched. I was just sitting like this, not wearing any other clothes. Whatever I was wearing, I was on that, just white clothes and white pajama. So I was on that only. The rain was happening, and I knew that in night I was not going to get any bus, and I had no plan to come in night. So I thought, okay, I will stay there. In the morning I will come back. So then I thought ki maybe I could go to this Nandi Hills as well, because Nandi Hills very near to that place. I thought what I'll do is, if I'll start walking from 3 in the morning, then by 4 and 5 I will be reaching to the Chikballapur, and from Chikballapur I'll have to find some car or vehicle, or if not car or vehicle, I'll walk or at the entire path to Nandi Hills. That is what I was thinking. So from 3 a.m. in the morning I started walking. The vehicles were still moving because the event end after 12:30 or 1 a.m. in the night. So after that, the crowd, the traffic was so huge that vehicles are moving one by another, and they were just moving throughout the night. So I started walking, and every single time there used to be some rain. I was just completely drenched in the water. And I was walking. After around 4 and 5 kilometers I have walked. Then there was a couple of volunteers on the same bike. They were coming on the same bike, and there was one guy who asked me, I was also wearing that shawl, the Naga Pratistha shawl. That Anna actually helped me out to reach to Chikballapur. Not only Chikballapur, he asked me, where are you going? So I said, I am going to Marathali. I said I live in Marathali. So, but I didn't tell him that I had a plan to go to Nandi Hills as well. So then he said, okay, we'll drop you somewhere. So he first planned to drop me in Chikballapur, but then he planned to drop me off in Devanahalli. He took me towards Devanahalli. Around 30 kilometers he actually rode in the by night, and he dropped me there. From Devanahalli I took the bus and I came back home. By 10 I was back at my place. So this was the entire journey, but by the time I was at my place, I knew for sure that volunteering is something that I'm definitely going to try. And that day was not very far from that day. I'll tell you my volunteering journey with Isa Yoga Center, Linga Seva, everything that I've experienced over there in next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaskaram.